Have you ever found yourself in a moment where the help you needed seemed beyond any human power? A moment where you stood before someone with authority, someone who held your future in their hands, and all you could do was hope for a measure of favor? There are times in every life when the path forward is blocked, when the walls of our circumstances have crumbled, and we feel a deep, quiet desperation. It is in these moments that we often turn inward or upward, searching for a strength greater than our own, a wisdom that can see a way through where we see none. This is the place where a simple prayer, spoken with a sincere heart, can become the key that unlocks a new beginning. This is not about grand pronouncements or eloquent speeches. It is about a quiet, brave request, a plea for mercy, a petition for help. It is the kind of prayer that recognizes our own limitations and acknowledges a higher power that has none. It is a prayer born from a place of deep need, but also profound faith. The story we are about to explore is built upon such a prayer. It is a timeless blueprint for anyone who has ever faced a broken situation and dared to believe it could be restored. It shows us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, a single, humble voice can capture the attention of heaven and set in motion a miraculous chain of events. The power of this prayer lies in its honesty. Yeah. Now let us turn to the words themselves. Let them settle into the quiet spaces of your mind. Let the weight and the hope they carry resonate within you. This is more than just a request. It is an act of profound trust, spoken at a crossroads of fear and faith. Read with me these words from the book of Nehemiah, chapter 1, verse 11, from the King James Version. Listen slowly. Hear the feeling behind the words. The earnest plea of a man who has put all his hope in the one who can truly make a difference. He prayed, "O Lord, I beseech thee, let now thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant, and to the prayer of thy servants, who desire to fear thy name, and prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. For I was the king's cupbearer." These are not the words of a man demanding his due. They are the humble and heartfelt words of a servant speaking to his master. They are measured, they are respectful. To truly grasp the weight of this prayer, we must first understand the man who prayed it. Nehemiah was not a prophet in the traditional sense, nor was he a king or a priest. He was a man of God, a Hebrew living in exile in a foreign land. His people were scattered. Jerusalem lay in ruins. The walls were broken down. The gates were burned with fire, and the people lived in great trouble and shame. This news had reached Nehemiah, and it broke his heart. He wept, he mourned, he fasted, he prayed for days. His position in the world was one of both privilege and peril. For I was the king's cupbearer. This was no ordinary servant's role. He was trusted, with daily access to one of the most powerful rulers on earth. Yet his heart was not in the palace. His heart was with the ruins of Jerusalem. To appear sad before the king could cost him his life. To ask to leave to rebuild, an audacious request. It required immense courage. But Nehemiah knew that courage alone would not be enough. He needed divine intervention. His prayer was not just a wish. It was the foundation of a strategic plan. He saw his access as a platform for God's purpose. Before he spoke to the king, he spoke to the King of Kings. He laid the groundwork through prayer, asking God to go before him. Right. O Lord, I beseech thee, let now thine ear be attentive to the prayer of thy servant. This is more than a hopeful wish. It is faith rooted in God's character. It is an appeal for presence, for focused, divine listening. God is personal, relational, attentive to the cries of his people. Nehemiah approaches as thy servant, humility and submission. God's ear is not just open to noise, it is attentive to the meek, the humble, the brokenhearted. Like a loving father, he leans in to the most genuine voice. Eloquence does not sway him, authenticity does. Nehemiah's heart broke for what breaks God's heart. We do not pray into a void, we speak to a God who is listening. And to the prayer of thy servants, who desire to fear thy name. He identifies with a community defined by desire, not perfection. To fear his name is awe, reverence, respect, the overwhelming recognition of God's greatness, majesty, holiness. To fear God's name is to honor his character and reflect his worthiness. Reverence purifies motives. We seek his glory, not our own. Nehemiah's request was for God's honor among the nations. God is less concerned with a perfect record than with our heart's direction. Do our prayers stem from reverence and a desire for his purposes? When we desire to fear his name, our prayers carry weight. God's ear is especially attentive, and to such prayers he draws near. And prosper, I pray thee, thy servant this day, and grant him mercy in the sight of this man. Prosperity here means success, effectiveness in God's purpose. Mercy is unmerited kindness, favor. Nehemiah prayed for a miracle through a specific human interaction. Sometimes our breakthrough is behind a door only another person can open. Boss, government official, loan officer, family member. Prepare, plan, show up, and pray for favor. God softens hearts, opens minds, and grants favor to move forward. Our success lies not in persuasion, but in God's provision. Think of a mother praying for her struggling child, asking for favor with the teacher. A receptive conversation. God granting mercy in another's sight. Lord, prosper me this day. Grant me mercy in the sight of my boss and my team. He listens more, serves humbly, and doors open. Breakthrough often arrives as softened hearts and opened doors. Loans approved, conversations restored, wisdom discovered, answers to humble prayers. Start with the small, brave prayer. Ask for mercy where someone stands in your way. Then watch for the sprout of favor God will cause to grow. Let your heart break for what is broken. Turn that burden into a Nehemiah prayer. Ask for specific favor with specific people, and be ready to act when God opens the door. Pray with reverence. Pray with faith. Ask for favor. Then begin the sacred work of rebuilding. God is with you.
How can you apply the message of this verse to strengthen your faith today?
Thank you for watching. May God's word continue to guide and strengthen you every day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful Bible verses and life-changing messages. Only here on Bible Verses of Life. Stay blessed, stay faithful, and always keep God first.